Hello, do not take it seriously on the Cigarette Burns today. Talking about a movie called Synecdoche, New York. I watched this movie all the way through the first time, and I was kind of left with that feeling of the entire time after. I was cycling everything through my head trying to figure out exactly what I had seen, because there's so much crammed into this movie in a good way that it makes you want to watch it over and over again so that you can find all the little hidden clues and the things that are going on in the film. I particularly liked the way that Philip Seymour Hoffman was in the film, because I've seen him in other roles and I've liked him in other roles, but I loved him in this role. I thought he did a phenomenally excellent job. The second time that I watched it through, it was even better. I mean, I had to write notes, and I never write notes about movies because I have so much that I want to say and I have so little time to say it in. But Catherine Keener, she was on there also. She played a great role as his wife in the film, and the relationship that they have that plays out. I don't want to give too much away for people who haven't seen it yet, but or any spoilers or anything, but the way that their relationship plays out, it's like any typical relationship. I mean, you can completely relate to what's going on. The way that it's presented, it's something that if it happened to you, you would literally be sitting there going, oh my gosh, I've been there before, I know how you feel. That kind of a setup, which I thought was great. And another person that I didn't know I was going to see in there, Jennifer Jason Leigh. The last time I saw her was in Dolores Claiborne as Selena St. George. And she's only in this, I mean, she's in it quite a bit, but not as much, obviously, as Hoffman and Keener. But I thought she did a really good job. Her role in the film was kind of something you'd have to really follow. I mean, it's a Kaufman film. If you've ever seen a Kaufman film, being John Malkovich, you know, any of those kind of films like that, like I've seen Being John Malkovich, and it's hard to follow if you're not really paying full attention to what's going on, because, like I said, there's so much stuff going on in the film that you see one thing, and as you see one thing, something else is being said, but yet something else is also underlying. There's little clues to different things, and you really have to pay attention while you're watching this film to catch that, which I think is awesome. It's the surrealism that they show in the film. It's basically him. From what I got of it, it's basically him remembering things from his past, also linked in with things in the present, and then going in towards future things. The first time I watched it, like I said, I kind of was a little bit miffed because I was trying to figure out the basic layer. There's so many layers to the movie that you do have to watch it repeatedly, I think. But, you know, I was only getting that surface layer of information. So watching it the second time, it was more about existentialism for me, because he at one point felt free in what he was doing, and yet still responsible for what he was doing. So I think that was portrayed very well in the movie. The way that the film was shot, the camera angles, the different things that they had done, it really added to how much you can enjoy this film. It's not overly, you know, camera angles all over the place. It's not overly done. It's not a Michael Bay film, thank goodness. But it's done in a nice, professional, crisp, clean manner. And movies like that I can obviously relate to, because I like to do that myself. So, you know, seeing the way that the film is laid out, seeing that there are so many layers to it, and every time you watch it you see something new, that makes it an awesome film for me, I think. I totally and completely recommend this to anybody who was just thinking about watching it. And like I said, if you don't understand it the first time watching it through, watch it again, because you will see things that you didn't see the first time. One of the things, for instance, you see his daughter in the film, and later on, you know, you see him wanting to give gifts to his daughter, but yet his daughter at this point should be so much older, and what he's trying to remember is something in the past, yet it's in the present. So it kind of throws you a bit, but it also makes you think. And like I said, that's a great movie to me. Something that really makes you use your brain while you're watching it. It's entertainment, and it's something more. So there's a lot of stuff you can take from this film. And I'm going to watch it again just to see what I find out in the third layer, basically watching it a third time. Because there were parts in this where I cried. There were parts in this where I was upset with the characters. It really got to me, actually, this film. It's one of the first films in a long time. In any, Kaufman film, there's going to be underlying content that you're going to want to pay attention to, because it's not just a, hey, here's my movie, here's what's going on. There are several layers, like I was saying. It just, to me, watching it repeatedly is going to give me a different experience every time. And it's not often that you find a movie that does that, let alone a movie that you love all of the characters in. Because even the characters that I didn't like in this film, I love them because I didn't like them, because of how great they portrayed what they were doing. Seeing him as a hypochondriac and seeing what he does, the different stresses in his life, and how it's basically just pages turning. And, watching everything go by, it's just like it's in the blink of an eye, and watching that the first time, like I said, it left me a little miffed. I was kind of wondering, why didn't I understand this, and what did I miss? I didn't understand certain parts. So, I went back through, I watched it again. I just felt the need to figure out what it was that I was missing from this film. And in watching it the second time, I saw a completely different side of every character than what I saw the first time. And I wasn't trying to bring expectations in as far as, the surrealism or the existentialism that was there. I was just trying to figure out what it was that bothered me about not understanding it. And in releasing everything that I had seen the first time, just clearing my mind of that, going into it as just watching it as a fresh new movie, like I said, Philip Seymour Hoffman, he does such an awesome role in this that you almost have to watch it repeatedly to see every side that he's doing. At first, I saw him as, like, just total jerk for the most part for some of the stuff that he had done, but the second time through, I realized why he did that, what he was trying to focus on, and what made him, make those choices. And that's where the existentialism comes in, because I think he saw himself as being a free person, obviously the way that he reacted, but he also knew that he had the, responsibility for his actions that he had to account for. And seeing that in a movie, instead of just the normal drab everyday movie, it's awesome. I think it's great. I think it's an absolutely great movie, especially if you like, Kaufman's style of directing and how he does his films. I couldn't believe it, and seeing, like I said, seeing it in different layers, because it's really not just a blatant, here it is kind of movie. It is a very well layered movie. I want to watch it again, because I loved the characters in it so much. And, like I said, it's not the basic everyday, here I'm going to watch this and here's a basic plot line and, here's the good character, the bad character, this is what it's none of that. Absolutely none of that. It has so many different angles that it keeps you guessing throughout the entire film. And that, to me, is a great film. Something that makes you wonder what's going to happen next, why it's going to happen, and it makes you hate and love the character at the same time. This is a great film. This has actually made me more of a Kaufman fan than seeing the John Malkovich film that he did, Being John Malkovich. And I didn't really like that film at the beginning either, and I kind of did the same thing. So with this film, that's why I watched it a second time, because I wanted to make sure that I fully understood what he was trying to get across. But in all actuality, I still didn't get all of it. I need to watch it again. That's why I said there's so many layers to this that you really have to focus and pay attention every time you watch it. And every time I watch it, it gets better and better. So, like I said, I think it's a great film. I think it's a must-have, definitely, for your collection. If you're buying it for the collection of having it because of Hoffman or because of Charlie Kaufman. And I just highly recommend it. I think everybody should watch this film. And like I said, if you don't see it the first time the way you want to, watch it again. Watch it repeatedly, because like I did, watching it the second time, I saw so many different layers to what the characters actually are. So I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I think it was great. It was picture quality was great on this. Audio I thought was awesome, because you could actually hear every character instead of a mumbling kind of a character. So that's a plus for me. But yeah, I highly recommend this film. I hope you guys get the chance to go out and go ahead and see it. So that's Do Not Take It Seriously on The Cigarette Burns today. You guys have a great day.